If you're in the market for an over-the-counter hearing aid and you want devices that are exceptionally durable with an excellent battery life, you need to listen to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to review the Yeasound RIC700. I hope you stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to be pushing the limits of the durability, the IPX8 rating that these devices have, and I'm going to be putting them in water, in a cup of water, for an hour. I cannot believe I'm doing this because I would never ever intentionally put hearing aids in water. I am an experienced hearing aid wearer. I've been wearing them since I was 4 months old. And the biggest no is do not put your hearing aids in water. But Yeasound dared me to, so I'm going to. So stick around for that. I'm also going to share my experience of wearing these devices. Let's start by talking about Yeasound Hearing. Yeasound Hearing is a division of Yealink. Yealink is an experienced, globally recognized brand in the audio and communication industry. In fact, they go head to head with Jabra in the desk phone and headphone industry. Yeasound Hearing created the RIC700. Right out of the box, you'll notice the devices are sleek, discreet, and just professional overall. They have two buttons, an upper button and a lower button, and thankfully they're really easy to use. When you take the hearing aids out of the case, you can simply hold the upper button for 1 second, release it, and it will say power on. Turning the devices off is almost as simple. You simply hold the upper button for 5 seconds, release it, and it will say power off, and it will turn off the hearing aids. To adjust the volume on the RIC700, you can simply use the upper button to go up and the lower button to go down in volume. Hearing aids are really unique devices in that the hearing aid itself might fit a lot of people, but people's ears are different sizes and different lengths. Hearing aids are not a one-size-fits-all solution. So Yeasound's RIC700 comes with a size 3 wire, but they send you a wire measuring tool and you can measure and make sure that wire size is the best for you. To measure your ear, simply take the measuring tool and put it back behind your ear. You can use a mirror or have a friend take a picture of your ear. But you measure the tool against your ear and look at the number indicator that measures the top of your ear canal. The number that correlates with the top of your ear canal indicates the wire size that you should have. If you notice that the number for your ear is different than 3, let Yeasound know. They will send you another wire with free shipping. In addition to this wire measuring tool, Yeasound also includes different domes with your hearing aids. These different dome types are open domes, closed domes, and tulip domes. Now they have 3 different open domes, 3 different closed domes, and 1 size of tulip domes. The 3 different sizes are small, medium, and large. The open domes have holes in them. They allow for more natural sound to enter your ear. They have less occlusion. The closed domes have occlusion. For some people, this offers higher sound quality and a better fit, but for some people, this occlusion makes them feel plugged. So if you get the RIC700, try out the different dome types and see if you find one that you like best. The tulip dome is kind of a happy medium between the open and the closed domes. Yeasound Hearing takes pride in offering a range of options to cater to individual needs. Yeasound Hearing has a team of audiologists, and they know that even just physical fit isn't enough to have a good hearing device. You also have to have presets and adjustments that work for you. In fact, they have 3 different adjustments available in the app. All right, now let's talk about the battery life of this product. I teased it at the beginning, but the Yeasound RIC700 has some of the best battery life I have seen. It takes only 3 hours to charge these devices so that they can last up to 31 hours. This is definitely a rapid charger. In fact, if for some reason you've lost charge, you could put your devices in for 15 minutes and it would give you even an additional 3 hours of wear. Now, that's pretty impressive. Once the case is fully charged from the base, this has an additional 8 charges in it. Most hearing aid charger cases that I've seen last about 3 to 5 charges beyond their full case charge. So to see 8, that's wild. I could take this on a trip and not have to take the base and the charging cord. This seems like it would be a really good fit for someone who travels a lot, whether it's backpacking in the backwoods and you have no connection to power, or you're just on the go, flights, etc. Why is there a base, you asked? Well, this base actually powers a drying feature within the charging case. In fact, when your case is connected to the base, it will activate a 1-hour drying cycle and therefore help maintain your hearing aids by pulling out moisture. For most prescription aids, you have to buy the dryer separately. In fact, I don't really use my dryer very often because I'm worried it's going to zap my rechargeable batteries. But here they have a dryer designed to work with rechargeable hearing aids. And so that is so nice to have an all-in-one drying, charging hearing aid option. When it comes to hearing devices, I am all about getting more bang for your buck. Okay, so here is the moment you've all been waiting for. We're gonna talk about durability. The IP rating of the RIC700 is the highest I have ever seen on a hearing device, period. It is an IPX8. I mean, I'm just gonna say it, they're waterproof. According to Yeasound's records and testing, these devices can last in 1 meter deep of water for days. For days. That is wild. In the past, I was borrowing some hearing aids from my audiologist because I was getting new hearing aids. And I jumped into a pool with loaner hearing aids on. So not only were we gonna pay for new hearing aids, we about had to pay for these loaner hearing aids. Now, total confession, we prayed so hard that those hearing aids would not have damage. Right when I dove into the water, it sounded like radio static. I knew something was wrong. We put them in a dryer right away and our prayers were answered. But it sounds like with the RIC700, we're not gonna have this problem. So I'm going to drop these in a cup of water and do a time lapse for an hour and try them on after, and we're gonna compare sound quality. So let's get to it. You can do this. You can put these in the water. I'm like super struggling right now. Like everything I've ever known is telling me not to do this. I'm really struggling. When I put them in the water, I'm gonna start the timer. They're gonna be there for an entire hour. And then after, I'm gonna towel them off and see if this works. 1, 2, 3. They're in. They're fully submerged. Everything I've ever done in life would tell me to pull these out right now. It's only been 30 seconds. Oh my word. Ah! This is gonna be the longest hour of my life. They're fully submerged. Everything's telling me to pull them out right now. They're saying, save me! Okay, here they are. Got my little towel. I'll pull them out. Oh my word, I cannot believe this. Look at that. Dripping wet. Totally soaked and submerged for an hour. Okay, I'm gonna towel these off. I'm gonna put them in my ears and see if they work. Okay, are you ready for the moment of truth? Here we go. I'm going to turn them on at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna turn them on. Here we go. 1 second. They said power on, they're on. Oh my word! They work. I think I would have been so surprised because I was so sure they were not gonna work. Oh my word! I can hear my son screaming downstairs. That's when you know they're really working. Oh, that's not working! They work! That is crazy! Okay, well, I'm very impressed. Yeasound RIC700 can work, and it sounds honestly like perfectly like normal after they've been submerged for an hour. So the application for this, guys, is absolutely huge. This last summer, I did not go to the pool a lot because I was concerned about wearing my hearing aids and being a safe and attentive mom for my children. Well, great news. Now with a Yeasound RIC700, I can wear these to the pool and confidently function like a normal mom. This is huge. Also, I plan to wear these to the beach the next time I go. Okay, so that was mind-blowing. Check out that value. Now, I want to talk about my experience wearing these devices. First off, I put them in and I noticed that I loved the sound of my voice. I didn't feel like I had to be quiet. I didn't feel like my voice was raspy. In fact, I loved the sound of my voice so much in the RIC700s, I found myself singing more. It was really unique. I don't think I've experienced that with another pair of devices that I've worn. I think whenever I wear different hearing aid devices, I'm always concerned about how I sound. I did ask my husband, like, do I sound different? And he said no, because I was just curious. I wanted an unbiased, objective opinion of how I sounded. I thought I sounded good, and he thought I sounded normal too. So it was just fun to hear my voice in a way that I liked to hear it. Sometimes wearing hearing devices is a big adjustment, and hearing sounds that you like and that you enjoy to hear when you have new hearing aids is always a win. So within the app, there are 3 different presets for a flat loss, high frequency loss, and a low frequency loss. If you are aware of what your hearing loss is, you can go in and utilize these presets. Now, once you've selected the preset, you can actually customize that. You can go in and adjust the settings accordingly so that you can improve your hearing experience. While the RIC700 comes with an environmental program, you can simply select this program in the app. There's general and noise reduction. So this allows you to experience life and really reduce the hearing load of hearing. A lot of people don't understand that for hard of hearing people, it is more difficult to understand what you're hearing. So these hearing aids not only amplify sounds that we need to hear, they reduce sounds you do not need to hear. That is one reason the noise reduction setting is really beneficial. The general program is designed for general everyday use, and the noisy mode setting is designed for noisy situations. So say you're going about your day just in your house, the general setting is a great option. Say you're at a restaurant, the noisy mode might be a great fit for this environment. It might reduce the load of trying to understand what you're hearing. You can select this setting, reduce the noises you don't need to hear, and be able to better focus on what you can and want to hear. You can also use noisy mode in like situations where there's just noise going on you don't need to hear. For example, if you have a loud air conditioner or a loud dishwasher or a loud washer dryer that just is noise you don't need to hear, noisy mode is great for this. In fact, we have this weird situation in our city where our library is currently in a warehouse. They have massive swamp coolers that are cooling down the warehouse, and they are so loud. I wore the RIC700 in the library, and with the swamp coolers blowing, I couldn't hear them. But my poor little boy, he was like covering his ears. So for his sake, we navigated to a quieter place in the library. One thing I do want to call out about these devices, just because I'm testing them and I think it's important to mention, is even though these devices connect via Bluetooth to my phone and I can control them with the app, I cannot stream my music or my calls. For myself, I really value streaming, and I missed being able to hear music through my ears. I missed being able to listen through phone calls through my ears. That's something I really value. I found myself just listening to the phone on speaker, and the sound quality just wasn't as great. I think the reality of that is because I'm just so used to hearing my phone calls and my music straight through my ears. So if Bluetooth connectivity, call streaming, and music streaming is important to you, You will likely miss that if you switch to the RIC700. And quite frankly, I missed it so much, it was hard. I would say that the RIC700 is a great fit for someone who's not used to call and music streaming. If you've never had it, then you'll be able to adjust to these pretty well. Yeasound Hearing did mention that they plan to release a music and call streaming in their next model. So that's good to hear that they have plans to put it in, because I feel like that's a feature that I love so much in my devices and I love to see in devices that I try. But all in all, whoa, wasn't the waterproofness of these devices just absolutely incredible? I am totally amazed, and I cannot wait to wear these to the pool and to the beach the next time I go. Do you have any questions for me about the Yeasound RIC700? If so, I would love to hear in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. If you are interested in the Yeasound RIC700, they have a 45-day risk-free trial with a 1-year warranty. If you get these devices, I definitely want to hear. Be sure to let me know in the comments below or send me an email at hearinglots@gmail.com. I'm so sure you got something exciting out of this video. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to making more great hearing loss related videos for you. Thanks so much for watching. Stay strong, stay amazing, and have a great day. Bye.